Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including in Georgia, they stopped the so-called Netflix tax. Now, this tax will have added more expenses to streaming services. We'll tell you everything you need to know about this and how it's impacting other areas around the country. There's some new Fire TV Edition smart TVs. Just when you think Amazon announced everything, CL has some new smart TVs coming out, and Amazon's new home internet service is going to get some help from the FCC to speed up its rollout. We'll break down everything you need to know about this and more here in a second. First though, if you're new here, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us support our families, and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of cable TV. If you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes and in the first pinned comment. Again, I'll put a link to them right there. All right, let's start off with the so-called Netflix tax. Now, the Netflix tax started in the greater Chicago area. Chicago put a tax on streaming services. In Georgia, they wanted to follow Chicago, and other states and areas have done this and impose streaming taxes for local counties and cities on streaming services. This is to replace the cable TV taxes they're losing as people cancel cable TV and go streaming. And this would basically allow local governments to regulate streaming there like they regulate cable TV. The big difference here is, Netflix isn't putting wires down the street in your county or your city for it. So there's a law on there that would have prevented this. Dish, Netflix, and others challenged it and successfully won in a lower court that no, they don't have to pay these taxes. No, the local governments can't implement taxes on their services. Local governments appealed to the Georgia Supreme Court, who declined to hear the case, basically letting the lower court ruling stand because they declined to consider overturning it. So this means in Georgia, you won't have to pay additional taxes on your streaming services on top of the normal sales tax and other ones out there with that. This is really great news for cord cutters because increasingly we're seeing efforts to put taxes and treat streaming services like traditional cable TV. We see local ABC, NBC, Foxes, and more asking out there for the ability to be able to regulate YouTube TV, Hulu Live TV, Sling TV, and others as cable companies, force them to negotiate directly. This would have allowed local governments to put taxes on here, resulting in you paying more for your streaming services. All right, let's keep moving along. Amazon has announced a new home internet service that's coming up. To do that, they need FCC approval. Well, the FCC's been very backed up on approval for satellite launches. There is a huge backlog of satellite requests, thanks in part to services like Amazon's new home internet and SpaceX Starlink, wanting to launch thousands of satellites. So the FCC has announced that they're creating a new group. They're going to streamline the process, put more staff behind it to speed up the approval process for satellite launches. This is great news for SpaceX's Starlink and Amazon's home internet service that they hope to launch starting next year for beta testing and publicly in 2025. This means that their request to get satellites approved should go significantly faster, allowing Amazon to get their satellites into space faster and help them quickly compete with Amazon SpaceX Starlink service within Amazon home internet service. So really good news here. I love the fact that FCC is putting effort into this, and increasingly we're seeing more and more projects in space. Those are not going away, and this is a great way for them to kind of work together to try to develop that and grow that and help make it into something with that. So we'll see how it all plays out. Question to you. Would you sign up for an Amazon home internet service? Would you pay Amazon if the price is right? Clearly targeting, like SpaceX and Starlink, more rural Americans, people with less internet options out there. But let me know if you would like to use it. All right. Yeah, man, this week Amazon had a lot of announcements. I know some people said, hey, Luke, you're tons of Amazon announcements. Yeah, they really did, and they're not done yet. So TCL, which you probably know, I'm standing in front of one of their TVs right now, a big maker of Roku. They make other TVs now, the Google TVs and the Fire TVs. Well, they've announced 3 new TVs, including a new QLED TV and a budget-friendly TV that starts at $399. $139.99. I misread that. I apologize. Dyslexic moment. These are some really nice TVs. They have some very nice QLED TVs starting off at $449 for a 55-inch, $599 for a 65-inch, and $799 for a 75-inch. Not bad pricing for a QLED TV. These all come with built-in Fire TVs, and the QLED also has AirPlay 2 support with that. I think so does the mid-range model with it. Really nice setup here. If you're looking for a Fire TV and built-in TV, the QLED one is pretty nicely priced for a Fire TV bundle there. But TCL, has been earning a reputation for some very good affordable TVs. I use several of them. Leave me a comment. Let me know. Do you use TCL TVs and what do you think of them? But these are now available right now if you want to find them and find the full specs. Link in the show notes down below. All right, Samsung's free streaming service has struck a deal with FilmRise to add over 600 hours of content. Samsung TV Plus, if you own Samsung or you put it on your phone, is a free streaming service much like Tubi, Crackle, Pluto TV, the Roku channel, etc. Well, now they're getting over 600 hours of content from FilmRise. And this brings the total amount of content from FilmRise on Samsung's TV Plus over 3,134 hours. This includes a ton of content out there, like some of the previous hits of Hell's Kitchen, Highway to Heaven, Heartland, 21 Jump Street. They're adding the full all 8 seasons of Cheaters. If you watched G4 back in the day, you probably remember that show. Above Average, seasons 1 through 6, Women Behind Bars, seasons 1 through 4, and more are all being added to Samsung's TV Plus service with that. I've said this 100 times. Free streaming services are free. Check them out. There's a lot of good content. A lot of content I necessarily wouldn't pay for, but I really enjoy. Like I talked about, I often throw on the Bob Barker Years of Price is Right, just some background noise on many different streaming services now. Check it out. Lots of great free content. Don't ignore it, because I think you're missing out if you do try to ignore these services. Huge shakeup in one of the largest media companies in the United States. Even though they sold a lot of their content to Disney, Fox is still a major player. Now Rupert Murdoch is stepping down as chairman of Fox Corp and News Corp. His family will take over. He'll be still around, still in an advisory role, but he will no longer be running the company. A little discrepancy in a few spots, but I believe it was either 79 or 1980. Somebody correct me, leave me a comment, let me know what year did he launch that and take it over. But he's been leading it since it launched, and now he's handing the reins over to the next generation as he steps back. But huge shakeup here, even though they may not be as big as they once were since they sold 21st Century Fox to Disney, who's now just 21st Century and all that. They still have a massive network of stations, sports networks, news, and more with it. All right, speaking of sports, there was a study that said streamers are willing to pay more for a premium, or willing to pay a premium for improved sports experience. The issue here is, in the past, you could get cable or YouTube TV and watch all your sports. We're increasingly finding, like Thursday Night Football is now on Amazon Prime, Peacock has exclusives, ESPN Plus has exclusives, and there's a study that says sports fans, who are often very dedicated, sports fans are hardcore, they don't want to miss their games, would be willing to pay for an add-on that will allow them to more easily stream everything in one spot without needing to jump back and forth and jump between apps. I've said this, the aggregators, you see Roku and others trying to do it, where you can go into one section and see sports events from multiple apps. That's kind of the future here. That's kind of where we need to figure this out. I don't have a problem with Amazon doing Thursday Night Football or Peacock having some Big Ten games, etc. I do have a problem with how difficult it makes it to jump around. And I think once they get that kind of hub idea that, hey, you can go into the Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku, wherever, and see all the sports, regardless of what service they're on, and jump directly into that. I think that's kind of the future of sports here. Leave me a comment, let me know. Have you found that tough? Now, if you're saying, well, I'm just going to go back to cable, good luck, because you're still going to have to get streaming services like Amazon Prime and Peacock, because a growing number of games are not airing on cable TV. So keep that in mind. But let me know, would you pay more for that? And last story of the day, The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal will be coming to prime time on CBS as Hollywood responds to the strike. Now, I'm recording this yesterday. There's rumors that the writer's strike, at least, could be coming to an end. If that happens, check out Corkers News. But to help fill the current gaps in the lineup, CBS is going to be doing a primetime specials of Let's Make a Deal and The Price is Right, including some of the Survivor casts coming on the shows. So check that out. With that, and as always, breaking news over at CoreCarsNews.com. Really do appreciate your support. Huge welcome to the thousands of new subscribers this month. Really do appreciate all your support. I'll be back tomorrow, or I'll be back on Monday. It's Friday. It's hard to believe it's Friday. With another video. Take care. Be safe. Have a fantastic day, everybody.